silliest stuff when I see people say, this was karma for all the racist things he said. No, he was 71. Y'all do know the average lifespan for a man on this planet is 74, right? If you get past 74, you are really, really on borrowed time, and you should thank God every chance you get. Okay. I saw some stupid comments this week between Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne. Somebody in our group chat was like, oh my God, there's something in the air. Like, what? Hulk Hogan was 71. That's about right, y'all.
Welcome back to Fame Drop. It's been an emotional roller coaster as the country reacts to the sudden wave of tragic losses tied to the golden days of 1980s Hollywood. For a lot of people, it honestly felt like parts of their childhood vanished in a blink. First came the shock of losing Malcolm-Jamal Warner and the rock legend himself, Ozzy Osbourne. Fans were crushed, no question. But things got even more intense when news dropped just days later. Hulk Hogan, wrestling icon and TV star, was reported dead at 71 from cardiac arrest. The headlines hit like a lightning strike. But what followed? Straight up chaos. While love poured in for Warner and Osbourne, Hogan's death didn't just bring grief, it lit up controversy like fireworks at midnight. Instead of quiet mourning, folks were arguing, debating, and coming for blood online.
It's really sad when anyone passes away. But I really don't feel anything because I know for a fact that he didn't like us. He never hid the fact that he didn't like us. You know, but it's very sad when someone passes away, whether they were young or whether they were old, whether they were famous or whether they was just a regular person. You know, I really don't even know what to say, man. But I had to say something. So I don't think we're going to see people on here crying over him passing away.
Why all the drama? Simple. People couldn't forget Hogan's past. Those old racist comments he made, they came roaring back into the conversation like a folding chair out of nowhere. And you know how social media works. No one forgets, and they definitely don't forgive that easy. Twitter and IG were flooded with receipts, reminders, and cold hard facts about what Hogan said. So when folks started posting tributes, it wasn't all peace and respect. Nah, the vibe was more like, let's not pretend this man was some hero. Then Mike Epps jumped in, and whoo, that's when it really went left. The comedian posted an image of Hogan, Warner, and Osbourne floating in the clouds like they were all kicking it together in heaven. His caption, "Bless them in the spirit," sounded innocent enough, but the internet didn't take it that way. People hit the comment section instantly. One person flat out said, "Delete this. We only mourning Malcolm." Another added, "This ain't it, fam." And just like that, the post blew up for all the wrong reasons. Folks were heated. They weren't trying to see Hogan placed next to Malcolm like they were on the same level. "One of these men ain't like the others," someone snapped. And honestly, that summed up the whole mood. Fans of Warner were especially vocal, saying it was wild disrespect to group him with someone who had been caught saying such ugly stuff in the past. Now, a few people tried to defend Epps. They figured he was just trying to show love in a sad moment, but even that angle got shut down quick. This wasn't just mourning. This was memory versus reality. And when that clash hits the internet, yeah, things go off the rails fast. One user didn't hold back at all. They came straight for Epps saying, "What the F is you doing, Mike?" That one comment, it captured exactly how confused and disappointed people were feeling. Like, really? Of all the tributes you could have made, you chose this? The post came off real tone deaf to a lot of folks, especially since the internet was already neck deep in conversations about Hogan's past behavior. People were left scratching their heads. Did Epps not know about the stuff Hogan said, or did he just not care? And once the story hit the Breakfast Club, things escalated even more. Charlemagne the God didn't waste 1 second jumping into the mess. On air, he joked that Hogan's death wasn't just sad, it was karma finally pulling up. That comment alone stirred the pot even more. Charlemagne knew exactly what he was doing. He leaned into the controversy full force, knowing folks were deeply split over how to remember Hogan. This wasn't just another celebrity tribute gone wrong. It was a full-blown cultural moment, and the internet had thoughts. Let's be real, this backlash didn't just come out of nowhere. Hogan's past has been out in the open for years, and the internet never forgot. So when word broke that he had passed, people didn't hesitate to bring up those jaw-dropping moments when he was caught saying the N-word. Not once, but multiple times. The worst part? That leaked recording where he went off about his daughter dating a black man. Yeah, that clip still haunts the internet. It was nasty, plain and simple. That audio left a stain on his image that never got washed away. And now that he's gone, people weren't about to let the world skip past all that. One user on X, formerly Twitter, even called on their AI bot, Gronk, to dig up the exact date Hogan's racist rant hit the public. They weren't playing, folks wanted receipts and they got them. Gronk came through like a detective on a mission and dropped the bomb. July 24th, 2015. That's the day the world heard what Hogan really said behind closed doors. And man, the internet exploded all over again. But here's where things got spooky. Hogan's death was reported almost exactly 10 years later, practically to the day. Once people caught on to that eerie timing, it was a wrap. Social media caught fire. People magazine even confirmed the date connection, and the timeline was locked in. From there, it was chaos. One user reposted Gronk's fact check with the caption, "Karma really is a mother effer." That post blew up. It wasn't just petty internet shade. People were out here calling it cosmic payback, like the universe had been keeping score and finally cashed the check. Back over on The Breakfast Club, though, Charlemagne the God wasn't riding the karma train. He pumped the brakes on all that spiritual revenge talk, saying folks might be reaching a little. According to him, Hogan was 71. That's not exactly a shock. He reminded listeners that the average life expectancy for men in the US is about 74, so Hogan wasn't far off the mark. In Charlemagne's eyes, this wasn't some magical curse coming full circle. Nah, he chalked it up to something way less dramatic, just biology doing what it does. Still, that didn't stop the internet from turning the timing into a wild, headline-grabbing moment. The streets weren't letting this slide easy. Then Charlemagne took it a step further, and what he said really struck a nerve for a lot of folks. He made it clear that the real heartbreak this week wasn't about Hulk Hogan. It was about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. The man was just 54. That's young. Way too young. And to make things even more devastating, reports said he died by drowning. No warning signs, no time to process, just gone. That kind of news hits deep, especially for fans who grew up watching him. It wasn't just a celebrity death, it was personal. Charlemagne didn't sugarcoat it either. He pointed out something that needed to be said. Not all celebrity deaths hit the same. Someone dying in their 50s with a clean image and a respected legacy, that's a whole different story than someone in their 70s with a history full of drama and scandal. He told listeners straight up, context matters. Just because people pass in the same week doesn't mean they should be remembered in the same way. And that's exactly why the internet's been tearing itself apart ever since Mike Epps dropped that tribute photo. You know the one, Hogan, Warner, and Ozzy Osbourne all floating in the clouds like they were up there chilling together. What was meant as a sweet gesture blew up into a straight-up mess. Some folks are still roasting Epps for putting all three in the same light. Others say people are overreacting and it was just a peaceful post showing love. But for a lot of people, this isn't just about a picture. It's about what that image represents. Legacy, memory, and who we choose to honor when someone passes. That tribute pic opened up a much bigger question. Was Mike Epps just trying to show respect, or did he fumble by acting like all three men stood on the same level? Because truthfully, that post hit like a punch to the gut for fans of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He didn't have scandal. He wasn't out here making headlines for the wrong reasons. He passed way too soon, and his supporters felt it hard. And seeing his face next to someone like Hogan, who carried so much controversy, just didn't sit right with them. Now, here's where things get real divided. Some say, death is death. Let people grieve how they want. Others argue, nah, respect needs to be earned, even after someone's gone. They believe Epps should have kept the tribute focused on Warner, especially since his passing was the one that really shook fans and came with no baggage. And don't forget Charlemagne's take. He brushed off all the karma chatter and said Hogan's death was just life doing its thing. Nothing cosmic, no punishment from the universe, just age catching up. But people aren't so sure. That weird 10-year timing between Hogan's scandal going public and his passing, yeah, it gave folks the chills. It's got people wondering if there was something deeper going on. A message, a sign, a reckoning, or maybe just a coincidence? So now we're left with the question that's got the internet in a chokehold. Did Mike Epps mess up? Was Charlemagne right to shut down the karma talk? Or are people just picking apart something that was meant to be simple? Either way, the heat isn't dying down anytime soon. So what's your take? Was it a tribute gone wrong, or just the internet doing what it does best? Sound off. The convo's far from over. Don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Got thoughts? We want to hear them, so sound off below. And hey, if you're still in the mood for more drama and deep dives, check out one of these videos on your screen right now. You might just get hooked.